A single 12-ounce soda can hit your body with about 42 grams of added sugar before you have even finished lunch. For a lot of adults over 55, that is not just empty calories. It is one more push toward chronic low-grade inflammation, the kind that does not come with flashing warning lights, but quietly wears down blood vessels, joints, muscles, the gut, and even the brain. After 60, this matters more because aging itself tends to raise inflammatory signaling. Researchers sometimes call it inflammaging, and it is tied to many of the problems people fear most, including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, frailty, muscle loss, and cognitive decline. The tricky part is that chronic inflammation does not always feel dramatic. It can look like unusual fatigue, poor sleep, morning stiffness, muscle aches, reflux, constipation, diarrhea, low mood, brain fog, or the feeling that your body is just not bouncing back the way it used to. A lot of people brush that off as normal aging. Sometimes it is not. Chronic inflammation is not one disease you can count neatly. It is a hidden process tied to many of the diseases that become common after 60. That is one reason this matters so much now. Diabetes affects 29.2% of U.S. adults age 65 and older. Obesity affects 41.5% of adults age 60 and older. And excess belly fat is strongly tied to inflammation. And 7.2 million Americans age 65 and older were living with Alzheimer's dementia in 2025. No, food is not the only cause of these conditions. But everyday diet can either keep feeding the fire or help calm it down. And when the fire stays on, the cost is personal. It is needing more time to get moving in the morning. It is sore knees that keep you from walking the neighborhood. It is brain fog when your grandchild is talking to you and you cannot find the word you want. It is poor sleep, lower patience, less steady balance, and less confidence behind the wheel. For many people, the real fear is not just disease. It is losing independence. One quick note. If you have chest pain, shortness of breath, sudden weakness, facial droop, trouble speaking, black stools, vomiting blood, persistent severe fatigue, ongoing abdominal pain, or rapid unexplained weight loss, do not try to fix that with diet alone. Get medical care. Now for the encouraging part. You do not have to eat perfectly, and you do not have to memorize complicated nutrition rules. Start by cutting back on 6 everyday foods and drinks that commonly drive inflammation. Then replace them with foods that help your body cool things down. First, deep-fried and ultra-processed foods, made with refined oils. This is where a lot of people get confused. The evidence does not support a simple claim that all seed oils are automatically inflammatory. The bigger problem is the food pattern around them. Think fast food fries, fried snacks, packaged foods, and foods cooked over and over in high heat oil. Repeated heating and industrial processing can create oxidation products, and those foods usually come bundled with excess calories, sodium, and refined starch. A better move is to cook more often with extra virgin olive oil. About 1 to 2 tablespoons a day is a practical target, and some studies use more as part of a whole food diet pattern. Second, added sugar. This is one of the clearest drivers. It spikes blood sugar fast, pushes insulin up, promotes belly fat, and over time can increase oxidative stress and inflammatory signaling. The American Heart Association advises no more than 6 teaspoons or 25 grams a day for women and 9 teaspoons or 36 grams a day for men. Yet one soda can go over that by itself. The most common sources are not just desserts. They are sweet tea, sweetened coffee drinks, fruit drinks, flavored yogurt, breakfast bars, and cereal. A much better breakfast is plain Greek yogurt with blueberries, or steel-cut oats with cinnamon. and 1 to 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. Third, refined flour and refined starches. White bread, crackers, pastries, pretzels, and many boxed cereals look harmless because they are familiar, but they are low in fiber, digest fast, and can drive repeated blood sugar swings. Those swings can worsen insulin resistance and weight gain, and that feeds inflammation. A simple rule is to swap 1 refined grain serving a day for a whole grain this week. Try steel-cut oats, old-fashioned oats, barley, quinoa, brown rice, or a 100% whole grain bread with several grams of fiber per slice. Fourth, processed meats. Bacon, sausage, hot dogs, deli ham, salami, pepperoni, and bologna are easy, salty, and tasty, but they are a rough trade for an aging body. They bring a high sodium load, preservatives like nitrites, heme iron, and compounds formed during processing and cooking that may worsen the inflammatory environment. They also crowd out better protein choices. Try replacing even a few servings a week with salmon, sardines, trout, skinless chicken, beans, or lentils. Fatty fish is especially useful because EPA and DHA help produce compounds involved in resolving inflammation. A realistic target is 2 servings a week. Fifth, artificial sweeteners. Here we need some honesty. They may not be the free pass many people think. The human evidence is mixed, and it is not accurate to say they definitely cause inflammation in everyone. But they can keep a strong preference for hypersweet foods alive, and they should not be used to justify a heavily processed diet. If your goal is to calm inflammation, it makes more sense to reduce both added sugar and your dependence on intensely sweet drinks. Water, mineral water, unsweetened tea, and plain coffee are better long-term habits. Sixth, alcohol. This one hits harder after 60 than many people realize. Even if you tolerated alcohol fine at 45, your body at 65 handles it differently. Alcohol can disrupt sleep, irritate the gut and liver, increase oxidative stress, worsen blood pressure and blood sugar control, affect mood and thinking, and interact with common medications. Moderation guidelines still exist, but even moderate drinking may increase some health risks compared with not drinking. If you wake up tired, foggy, stiff, or with reflux after your evening drink, your body may already be telling you something. Now add in foods that help the other side of the equation. Extra virgin olive oil is one of the best starting points. Use it on vegetables, beans, salads, or cooked fish. Blueberries are another smart choice. Around 1 cup a day is a practical amount, and blueberry intake has been linked with improved endothelial function, which matters because inflammation and blood vessel dysfunction tend to travel together. A small handful of walnuts or mixed nuts, about 1 ounce a day, can also support a better cardiometabolic environment. Ground flaxseed or chia seeds are simple additions that punch above their weight. 1 to 2 tablespoons a day can add fiber, plant omega-3 fat, and help with fullness and bowel regularity. Beans and lentils at least 3 to 4 times a week are another powerful swap because they steady blood sugar, feed beneficial gut bacteria, and often replace processed meat or refined starch on the plate. And if your stomach tolerates them, plain yogurt with live cultures or kefir may help support a healthier gut balance. If you want the big picture, think Mediterranean style. More vegetables, beans, olive oil, fish, nuts, fruit, and whole grains. Less processed meat, less refined sweets, and less alcohol. That pattern has been associated with lower inflammatory markers in older adults. Then make one habit change that costs nothing. Take a 10 to 15-minute walk after meals, especially after breakfast or dinner. That simple walk can help blunt blood sugar spikes and those spikes are part of what keep inflammation going. You do not need a perfect pantry by tomorrow. Just stop feeding the fire so often. This week, pick 3 swaps. Replace 1 sugary drink with water or unsweetened tea. Replace 1 processed meat meal with beans, lentils, or fish. Replace 1 refined grain with a whole grain. Those small moves are not trivial. Repeated every day, they change the direction your body is heading. Your body is listening to what you eat over and over again. Not once, not on holidays, every day. And even now, you still have a lot of power over that signal.